Hey, what up guys, it's Mike here and I'm back. So on the last video we've completely marked up the HTML. So in this video we are going to style it in CSS. So let's go back into our style sheet. And the first thing I would like to talk about is to reset the style sheet to remove the unnecessary padding and margin on the base styling of HTML. So I posted down a link below and it will take you to this page, mirrorweb.com, which is the most commonly used available CSS reset on the web. So let's just copy this, Control C to copy, and create a new file, or we can paste it right here. But I prefer to separate this for this tutorial, so go ahead and click on File, New, paste it, Control S to save it, and save it on our root folder. Then create a new folder and name it CSS, and let's name it to reset.css. Next, we are going to reference this to our index.html right on the head section. Let's post it above on our style.css. So copy this and paste it right here. And make sure the path is correct. So css/reset.css. Hit and save. As you notice, if I'm going to refresh this, the unnecessary margin and paddings removes and need a couple of more styling. So let's go ahead on the header part. So here, the header composed of logo and a navigation. So let's start first in styling the logo. So I forget to add a class of logo, so let's go ahead and put it. So on H1 we'll put in a class of logo. Actually we can reference it by header H1 and A, but it is more appropriate to have a class so that we can know that it is a logo. So go ahead and install the CSS, close this up, and on the header we are going to put in dot logo and A. Next, the property we need is to display as to block, display block, so that we can apply a width and height, padding and such all that things. So because without this, and if we're going to open it up, the logo, as you can see, located on images, logo, open it up, Control Alt I on the keyboard to show the pixel dimension. As you can see, 133 pixels by 46 pixels. So width 133 pixels, height 46 pixels. And let's add the background. So background, next URL, open and close parentheses, then semicolon, then the path of the image. So in this case, images logo.png, and let's make it background repeat, no repeat. So if we're going to preview this, as you can see, without display block, it didn't follow the style that we applied right here. So if I'm going to display it as block, URL. So again, without display block, preview this. As you can see, the image is cropped out and didn't follow the dimension that we put in. So with display block, now the logo is completely shown. So let's remove the text by just applying a property text indent. Basically what this does with its negative values is to push the text to the left. So if we're going to preview this, as you can see, the text is completely removed and our logo is showing now. One thing I would like to talk about and most commonly used CSS3 property is the box sizing. So we will apply this to the all elements. So type in WebKit box sizing colon then border box, as well as to Mozilla box sizing border box, then lastly box sizing border box. So what this does is, for example, if we have this in the main content, if you are going to apply a padding, so for example, let's remove this first. If we are going to apply padding on the main content, for example 40 pixels on all sides from top, left, bottom, and top, if we're going to preview this, the sidebar will go down since we apply padding to this, and by default it is on 660 pixels. By applying the padding 40 pixels on the left and right, it will count 660 plus 80. So if we're going to preview this, as you can see, the sidebar link goes down since without that box sizing, it adds to the current width of the element. So with box sizing, this will solve the issue. And if we're going to preview this, as you can see, it stays the same, the width is the same, but we've applied the styles 40 pixels on top, right, left, and bottom. So it is applied now on all the element by typing in this asterisk or whatever you call it. So go ahead and type this and we're ready to go. So let's continue. So let's remove first the padding of 40 pixels. So let's go ahead and go back to our design right here on how we are styling the navigation. So let's take this color right here, copy that, 6666, go back to the styles, and we're going to reference it to nav with a class of primary, then an ordered list composed of list items and links. So nav with a class of primary, or just by typing in dot primary ul, apply the background to the ul, preview that. So now we have this nicely background there. So on the header part, we'll get remove of the height since it's for demonstration purposes only to show you. And then we are going to apply a padding on the top. See, using ruler tool right here, measure it by press and drag. So it's about 27 pixels. So let's go ahead and add it. So padding, and on the left is just 20 to 19 to 20. So 20 on the left, and let's make it 30 on the top. So padding 30 on the top, 0 on the right, 0 on the bottom, 20 pixels on the left. Let's see if we achieve it. Oh, we don't need to apply a padding to the header on the left, since as you can see on the design, this navigation here is taking this full width of the header. So let's remove that and apply just padding top. And what we can do is on the logo, we push it to the right, so margin left 20 pixels. Let's see if we achieve it. So yeah, we did it. And let's apply a margin bottom also, so 25 pixels. So remove it, margin 0 on the top, 0 on the right, 20 pixels, 25 pixels on the bottom, 20 pixels on the left. Let's see. So there you go. We have aligned the logo perfectly. Let's go back to the primary navigation. Next is the list items. So primary ULLI, and let's float everything to the left. So float left. So you are wondering, so if we float it, the parent element didn't know the actual height, since the list items floated and stacking to the left. So the best fix for this, is by using Chris Coyer's force element to self-clear. I've been using this for about 2 years in every issue I've encountered like that. So the latest update, scroll down to the bottom and copy this. Copy, Control C, and let's place it above right here. So since the parent element didn't know the actual width and height of each children right here, so we are going to apply that group or the clearfix hack. If we're going to preview this, wait, UL class group, let's see, background float left, the primary float left. So as you can see, now it is on the same line and the layout go back. So other example is on the main section and main content and on the sidebar. So section, main content, and the sidebar right here. So as you can see on our sidebar, the width right here is stopped on this part right here. So what if the content is more taller than the navigation, or I mean the sidebar? So it will remain like this. So we want it to make it like this, that even the content is more taller than the sidebar, the background still following what is the content height. So in order to solve this is we are going to wrap this section main content and the sidebar on a single div. So control / to create new tag and type in div, and we will apply a class of content wrap. Press enter and comment out the closing tag and wrap content. Go back on the style.css and right above right here, so that wrap content as we know that the main content right here is always taller than the sidebar, we apply the style on the style.css that the main content has a background of white. So in the wrap content, we are going to apply a background the same to the background of the sidebar. So copy that, paste it like that. As you can see, if I'm going to refresh, nothing happens. But if I'm going to add this clearfix hack on the parent container, which is the content wrap, so group, watch what happens. Content wrap, did I spell it right? Wrap content. Oh, content wrap. Sorry, my mistake. So content wrap, refresh. As you can see, it solves the problem. So even though that the article will go long, like let's copy a bunch of articles, as you can see the background still follows. So we already fixed it, so let's go ahead and move on. Preview like that. So let's style the navigation. Next, we are going to style the links inside the list. So primary ULLIA, we will display it again to block so that we can add padding. Display block padding. So let's apply a padding of, measure it, so 20 pixels and above, so 20 also. So padding 20 pixels above and 20 pixels on the left and right. So 20 pixels, or you can do it 20 pixels only to apply on all sides. F5. So I think it's bigger since this link right here. Inspect element, inspect a So let's make it 10 pixels on top and bottom, 20 pixels on left and right. Let's see how we're going to look. Let's try 15. So I think that's look good. And let's format the navigation links. So let's see right here. So most of the links colored this orange, so let's just copy it and apply it to all of the anchor tags. So A, color, and as you notice that the formatting of the text is sans serif and it's on Helvetica. So let's go ahead on the background. Let's set a font family and make it Helvetica, Arial, and sans serif. Hit preview. So it's looking great. And let's add a line height on the body, since as you can see right here, the spacing of the text is about 15 pixels, and on our design right here it seems like it's very close, so maybe let's add 1.5 m. Hit preview, and I think that's fine. And let's change the font size to 14 pixels. So by default, font size is 14 pixels. And it looks great. And the color will be 6666. Color 6666.